Hey guys, well, welcome back to Cadillac Coach Works. It's been a little while since I've posted a video. It's been hot, very hot, and I'm sure some of you are experiencing that as well. And I'm only getting work done after work, maybe 8 o'clock or something like that, when it actually cools down. But I thought I'd give you a little progress update and show you something I ran into putting a 1960 Cadillac 390 in the 52. So let me show you what's going on. So here is the block. It's pretty much done. She came out really pretty. Hopefully you can see how pretty that is. I had to replace the rocker shafts because they were really clogged up, and I just could not get this thing to prime from the rockers. She got great oil pressure. The galleys were obviously cleaned out. We were getting oil through the 4 bolts that hold the rockers down. But yeah, the rockers were so clogged up. I just decided to buy new ones and cleaned the hell out of the rockers. So I'm still battling with 2 of them, but I think if she runs, get some heat on her, she'll be just fine. But yeah, she turned out really nice. I'm keeping her under the canopy because we're getting sporadic monsoon weather. So let me show you something else. So I have been sanding down the fenders, core support, and I've got some of the firewall, but I don't know if somebody just hardwired a whole bunch of stuff, because newer Cadillacs, I would say late 50s, 60s, all that, they actually have plugs that you can plug in the main engine harness, and these are all hardwired. So that's going to make it difficult, and obviously I'm getting rid of all this crap. I got some fabric electrical tape coming, so I'm going to wrap all these looms, and then these guys are a pain in the butt. I'm still debating on whether to get some plugs that I can wire in, pigtail them in, plug them in, and maybe hide them, but we'll see. I mean, all the wiring works on this car, so I don't want to mess with it too much. I got all the suspension done. Kind of see them there. The new shock towers in there. So I got brand new shocks in here. I did the sway bar links right there. I just so what I did is I actually got polyurethane shock tower bushings, and I just used them on the sway bar link that was already on there, and just kind of rebuilt them, and that's going to handle a lot better. I've cleaned all the crud under here, painted it, yada. I got the old gas tank out. Starter's been rebuilt. Mess. Just too tired to clean up. Got the old filler neck out. And here's the new gas tank. So yeah, that needs to be cleaned up really well before I put it in. And you see all the crud and rust in there. So when you guys replace a tank, make sure your filler neck is nicely cleaned out, because you're just gonna get all that stuff back in there. Let me show you one other problem that I ran into. I really thought that the 52 manifolds would go to a 390, and they don't, and I'll show you here in a second. But one other issue I ran into is the 1960 manifold runs smack dab into this huge ass gearbox. So obviously that's not going to work. But let me show you the difference in the manifolds. So here we have the manifolds. These N ones are for 1958 or 1957 and above. I know those are the same. I'm not sure about 54, 55, 56. But this is the original one right here. And you can tell, see how that's a square bore? And then you go over here and that's more of a rectangle. Something I missed, you always learn. But another issue that, I was telling you about the gearbox is, see how this is going to run right into the gearbox. This is the driver's side. This is the passenger side for a 1960. So what I'm going to do is get another 1960 passenger side, put it on the driver's side, because these holes, all the holes will line up and it'll completely miss the gearbox because it'll dump right out the middle, just like the original one did, because this is the driver's side. So that's kind of a cheap alternative. I was gonna get headers, but then I have to fabricate an alternator bracket. But on the 52, 53, and 51, the fender is so close to the alternator or generator that it won't hug. So I'm just gonna get some another passenger side for the driver's side. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So yeah, that's something to take in consideration when you're doing a pre-53 360 or 390 swap, is that Cadillac like to change things around a little bit, and not everything's just gonna fall into place like a Chevy, or I don't know, I'm sure a lot of other cars or whatever. But yeah, she's coming along. I will update another video when I have the engine compartment all painted and we're a little bit closer, and I have some more time when it's nice and cooler out. I'm really hoping that at least drops down into the 80s, because when you try to do work in the sun when it's above 92, whew, man, even the concrete's baking you. So yeah, I'll update you guys a little bit more, but I'm hoping that you're finding my videos a little helpful, especially if you're gonna do this yourself eventually, and any questions. So I hope you guys have a safe weekend and stay cool and make sure you hydrate, blah blah blah. You guys take care of yourself.